Hey guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and today we're driving a 991.1 base Carrera with a PDK. You know, I've never driven a PDK in the early 991.1s. You've seen me drive the Turbo S 992 with PDK and it was great. So let's see how it is for this naturally aspirated car. It's got a 3.4, unlike my turbocharged 2017, which has a 3-liter flat 6 twin turbo. This is naturally aspirated 3.4 flat 6. Let's take a look inside. It is like 90 degrees today when I'm filming this, so let's start it up. And sorry, but I'm gonna have to have the air conditioning on. So let me seatbelt on so it doesn't chime. So very similar to my car here, the infotainment, except you got the touchscreen. You don't have Apple CarPlay. You do have a rear camera, which we see here, which I have in my car. I don't believe this has the front sensors like my car does. Parking brakes in the same place, so is in the key. This is like the 981 Boxster GTS I drove. So it's got the optional steering wheel with the big paddles, not the little toggle switches, which is a big plus. So now we don't have sport exhaust, but we have sport mode. So let's drive it in that. So my car, 2017, the Miami Blue 7-speed. These are both 7-speed. Mine's a manual. This is an automatic. This is a PDK car. That car, my car, personal car, is 370 horsepower and it's a base. So 20 horsepower jump over the 991.1. Mine's the 991.2. I know it's confusing. And basically has 20 more horsepower, my car. And my car, though, has 40-something foot-pounds of torque, which is a big difference. And we'll see if we can feel it today. So this is the smaller motor. So for my generation, 991.2, they went all to 3 liters out of turbochargers. The difference between my base and S, the GTS, all those differences is really the size of the turbos and some tuning. Here, in the base model, the 991s, it's actually engine size. So they have a 3.4 liter engine and the S's had a 3.8 liter engine. So now we'll try it in manual mode. PDK does okay around town. And let's see, since this does not have any turbos, if this car is quick enough. All right, sorry I had to turn the air on there. We'll take it on the highway, see how it accelerates. See how the PDK shifts. Now I already noticed a difference at 3,000 RPM. I noticed a difference at 3,000 RPM that it's got nowhere near the torque that my car has. I definitely feel it's struggling. But there's a lot of things I like. I really like this steering wheel. I really like this handling of the car. It's rear drive just like mine. It definitely struggles for power though, that's for sure. I do like the sound. So where it has my car beat, guys, is sound. Now this is a pretty stripped version. It doesn't have sport exhaust like my car. PDK is pretty quick. It's nowhere near as quick as the 992, but it's a lot better than the 997.2 generation. That was kind of slow and laggy. It was the first PDK car. It came out in 2009 and it wasn't very good, to be honest. The 992 is brilliant. So this is kind of somewhere in between. It is definitely good enough that I could drive this every day for sure. So I think we're gonna make a left here. But otherwise, all this stuff is familiar. So you have the same cup holders I have. The interior is very similar, so there's not too many changes here. What's different is obviously the steering wheel. The buttons even look very, very similar to mine, almost identical. We have a sunroof here, so we have, it heats up the cabin. I'm sure there's a way to close, but I'll leave the light on just so it looks better for the video. PDK is pretty good. Now this is a base car, so that horsepower, that's 20 horsepower difference. Hey, there's a Cayman right across, 987.1 it looks like. Horsepower is only 20 less, but you don't have that surge my car has. And I know a lot of people prefer this car more because of the fact that it doesn't have turbo, so it sounds much better. So I'll give it that. It definitely is a much better sounding car for sure. You know, I'm going to put the temperature up, and then we'll put it on auto. All right, so now we'll get back on the highway, and we'll get back to kind of where we just were. But otherwise, it handles really well. It is a rear-wheel drive, just like I like it. We are driving in sport mode. Yeah, so you really, it reminds me a little bit like E92 M3, and what I mean by that is the power's up really high, like my S2000. So it kind of, very fun to drive, but it kind of struggles a little bit in regular traffic and passing on the highway. Cooled seats would be an added plus, but you know you're not buying a 911 for cooled seats. But I really like having mine. It's pretty cool. This car drives well, but I think honestly to be equal to my car, I would have to go for the 4S. So I was thinking of keeping my car. I know it doesn't make any sense. Keeping my car because my favorite color manual, it's a manual transmission in my favorite color, Miami blue. And then I was thinking when my lease is up on my M340iX drive to get one of these, probably an all-wheel drive PDK as a daily driver. And the reason for that is I sit in the traffic a lot. I don't want to have clients and I'm shifting gears. So I figured this could be a, get an all-wheel drive version, slap a set of snow tires on, and it'll be an all-around everyday car. PDK can get good gas mileage. This car does have great sound, I'll give it that. The sound here is absolutely amazing. And the handling is so good with the rear drive. Now they really dialed out in the 991s that rear engine bias. I would even say they dialed it out as early as the 997s. With my 996 C4S and my, there you go, so there's some sound. With my 996 C4S and my 993 Turbo, you could really tell that the car was rear drive, like, oh my God, you know? Wow, so this definitely sounds fantastic. So when we get in that high RPM, that blows my car away. My car does have a flat 6 howl, but you do hear a lot of, you know, it does sound like a vacuum cleaner because of the turbos. So I really do like this car. It reminds me a lot of my car, the handling, but I can tell you that I could use some more power. And if this is all you have, you know, if this is in your budget, 3.4, don't fret it. The prices have come up a lot since this pandemic. So this car is probably worth more, 20,000 more, just like my car and just like your car, than it was during the lockdown in 2020 or certainly 2019. But this car is a blast to drive, but honestly, I think I'd need a little more power. The M340iX drive is just so fast that, and my car too with the turbos, my 911, that I think unfortunately it spoiled me. But otherwise this would be a fantastic car. And they're a good buy at this price. You definitely have to pay through the nose with the S. But so as you get this up, you really got to get it like over 5,000 RPM. Again, it reminds me of my E90 M3, which is the 4-door E90. What I had was the 4-door, E92 is the 2-door, and E93 is the hardtop convertible. Who test drives Porsches and talks about BMWs? I guess I can't get away from BMWs. But this is really an awesome car. I could drive this, unfortunately I have to give it back, but I could drive this car for miles and hours. That's how good it is. And the ride is really, really good. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Remember, like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.